Good Sunday morning, everybody. It's actually Sunday lunchtime, but we're going to take extra big dummy inside today, and extra big dummy, super white truck, whatever, my great white shadow, whatever it is. Anyway, we have a 5/8 drop kit that we're going to put in this truck and bring it down on the ground, and I'm about to show you some of the stuff we got. We got some hammer tone front springs. Apparently there's two in it. I think they'll be under there. One for each side.
I'll have to go back and video a little bit more. Just forget how they got it.
And then we got I don't know how they managed to put them in the box. We've got some drop spindles. Joe's going over to get the paint on the paint shaker because it sounds like it's about to fly apart. Spindles are pretty self-explanatory. Just take the wheel off, take the brake off, take the spindle off, take the spring out, put the new ones in, and then here's the rear. The rear will be the more difficult of the two sections of the truck that need to be done because there's a bunch of hardware. New spring plates, new U-bolts, new spring perches.
You know what? I finally just got it. You know that song where they say slam down, flip it, and reverse it?
That's what I'm doing.
That's what he's doing.
That's what I'm doing. Another spring perch. What do we got here? Another mountain plate. Directions. They gave us a lot of paper, which that's good. We need that. This thing, guess we'll need the directions to find out what that is. And a big old C-notch. This, because we're taking the axle out from under the spring and putting it over the top, which isn't going to give it a lot of room, therefore we use this, which gives it more room. The other side, one of these, a couple of these, and the best part of all, we got a sticker. So that's it. I don't even know if I want to do this today, but we're going to do it anyway. So let me go out and get Big Honky in here.
At least it's not the surface of the sun kind of hot today.
Right. No, it's actually not too awful bad. But, all right. Well, okay, there's El Blanco Grande.
Blanco Grande.
El Blanco Grande.
One day you're going to settle on a name for
I think
it.
that, I like
Yeah, El Blanco Grande.
Spanish for the big white girl. El Gordita Blanco. Okay, the first thing we did was we got the wheels off it, supported it on jack stands under the frame. Now we're going to take the springs out, take the axle out. Once we get that stuff out of the way, we get to start pulling some new Beltec stuff up in there, and hopefully the three of us overweight old people are going to be able to put this back together. Matt's not old or overweight, so he'll probably be doing it all.
Center bolt and removed the overload spring.
Joe over-tightened it.
I did no such thing.
Okay.
This will provide a more comfortable ride.
That's right.
Yes, it's all about the comfort.
We're going full Denali on this one. You can use that for a bumper on a 37 Chevy if you need to. Send it out, get it chrome.
Now, in theory, I should go with a little detail.
Hey, get your camera for a second. It is now officially El Blanco Grande because the springs were hetoed in Mexico. Okay, give me some safety glasses and a measuring stick. Let's see here. Wow. Did you hear the company that makes yardsticks isn't making them any longer?
Wow. Alright, so Matt has used the provided template and we've identified where we need to notch out on the frame. So he's now scribing the frame.
Take it low down.
jacked it. The frame didn't bend.
That's because I got it jacked up in the back. Alright, so now we have a notch.
I use that for something.
Show YouTube what you got there. So that's the notch that came out.
Doesn't really look like a C, but...
Alright, pause it in case if I'm messed up in this thing.
Okay, we got our frame C-notched. This is the Beltec piece that goes over the existing frame with an alignment hole. We drill 10 holes. There's 2 under here and then 4 on each side. Bolt that together. There's a little nylon bed spacer there. It says to take that out. Every video we've ever seen this done, they say to take the bed off. You know what? We're not taking no dually bed off a truck. You don't have to. The bed does not have to come off. Would it be easier with the bed off? Probably, but I mean that's a lot of work to go ahead and take the bed off. So we'll do that some other time if we ever want to take the bed off it. Why the hell we would want to do that, I don't know, but maybe to paint it or something. But next step is going to be drilling these, and then we're going to weld down here both sides and across the bottom, just as an extra added measure of paranoia. But there was no movement. I mean, nothing changed. This was a little tough getting in because the bed, if you see, it's actually about a 1/4 inch thick. So it's got to raise that one spot of the bed up a little bit. But we got it in there. It's good to go. We'll drill some holes and call it a day. Or we may even call it a day before we drill some holes. I don't know. But
you want to go down the cat?
it's
Dolly Parton's down there.
it's loud, a lot of sparks, a lot of goofiness and whatnot. Wear some ear protection, especially when you're hitting this to knock it into place, because in this amphitheater that is a rear quarter panel, it makes a little bit of noise. And I think while we're in here, I may take these snubbers off. These are for the helper spring that was on the top. We took that off because you have to get the 8 inches, but it's also, as we discussed earlier, going to ride a lot nicer now too. So that's it. 3. Hey everybody, here we are under the dually. We started on this project yesterday. We got started kind of late, and then today we kind of whittled away at it. But if you look up here, you can see where we C-notched the frame, and then we put the Beltec brackets in there. You got to drill 10 holes through an incredibly hard frame, so that wasted your pretty good drill bits right there. And then had Matt just weld a bead along each side. That way, if anything were to loosen up even a little bit, it's going to be okay. Now, as you can see, this used to be a spring over. Now it's a spring under. Your springs used to sit right here on this perch pad, and the Beltec makes these that slide right up in there. You don't even have to weld them. And then there's a little 4-degree wedge that you put in there, and a shock extender. Now, you put the shock extender, drill some holes, put some bolts through that, and then your shock goes right in there. So it's going to maintain the stock ride quality of the truck. Just going to drop it about 8 inches in the back. So we're going to tighten some stuff up. And did I miss anything? I don't think. Let me tell you something. This is heavy. That thing is heavy. So be careful. Don't lose any fingers. It's a pretty easy job. Like I said yesterday, you don't even really have to take the bed off the truck if you don't want to. If you're doing it outside, leave the bed on because it will provide you with some nice shade. Because I'll tell you what, it's a relatively easy job, but it's not like super fun and super flowy. It takes a little bit of time, but we've got to remount our brake lines and the axle vent, and we're going to get these wires that they have for the trailer up out of the way, and that's going to be about it. We've got to
Drive shaft.
Yeah, we've got to put the drive shaft back in, but before we do that, there's a Beltec makes a tubular, square tube bracket that goes in there to raise that carrier bearing up a little bit to maintain the drive angle, as well as on the transmission you have to move that, and they provide you with something very similar to that that you move your transmission up. Maintains the drive angle so your truck doesn't all of a sudden have a crazy vibration because you wanted to be cool and lower it. But we're going to get these shocks hooked up and get that carrier bearing and transmission done. We'll put it back on the ground and give you an idea of what it looks like. I'm probably not going to drive it like this at all because I think it's going to have that Tennessee tilt, and I'm not a squatted truck kind of guy, so we'll do the front. That's going to be a whole nother video. Your snubbers here, they go in, they're pretty easy. Just got a 9/16 bolt on the top, and that gives us the clearance. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of travel from fully extended to all the way up, but it's going to sit pretty low in the back, in the front too when we get there. We did take one main leaf out. You got to do that, and I can't really think of anything else. We got to put all the nuts back in the spring shackles because we just got the bolts in there right now, no nuts. And then we'll do the front and have ourselves a lowered dually. Pull some trailers. Do some other stuff. Some other am I upside down? I look like I'm upside down. I can't tell if I'm upside down or not. Am I upside down?
You're upside down.
I'm upside down. Yeah. It's, you know, for an old guy, you get down on the ground like this, it's good to be able to explain everything you're doing because you got to really psych yourself up to be able to get back up off the ground. But other than that, it looks like the previous owner had already done U-joints, carrier bearing, shocks, did a bunch of stuff on the underside of the truck, so I know I don't have to do any now. Well, as far as I know. But that's it. We'll be back here shortly after we get the rest of this stuff in, put it on the ground, let you see what it looks like. All right, we got the drop done on the back of the 99 dually, and it's low. It's probably a little bit lower than I expected. I like it, but it's pretty low. Here, so follow it. But all in all, it's a pretty easy kit to install. I mean, everything's heavy. It's not a half-ton truck. So we're going to get the front done, and we'll give you some views on that when we get it in and see what it looks like when it's all done. But that's it for the back.
Yeah.